Are you a beginner filmmaker on a tight budget? Well, you're in luck because today I'm going to share with you my top 3 best budget cameras for filmmaking. And the best part, you don't need a Hollywood budget to create great cinematography. So let's jump into my top 3 best budget cameras for beginner filmmakers. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jeremy and I am a full-time freelance photographer, videographer, and post-production specialist here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you've come to my channel, then you've probably seen that I do a lot of things on budget gear or how to run a business or tips and tricks for business-oriented creatives. And if that's something you're interested in, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified when I post another video. But enough about me, let's get into the real reason why you're here. Now, if you watched my $2,500 Filmmaker kit, then great. If not, I'm gonna link it up here just so that you can go see. But in that video, I broke down the best budget kit for about $2,500 or less. And so this is kind of a follow-up to that video, specifically talking about the cameras, because in the comment section below, a couple people talked about some other cameras, and I thought it was a good idea to mention some of these cameras. So I wanted to just kind of get that out there and give you a few more options that you can look at if you're in the market for a budget camera. Now, you will want to pick these all up used, as new will be too expensive. So when I talk about these cameras, just know that you will need to search through eBay. I'll link a search on eBay. It will be affiliate link, so just know that that does give me a kickback. It doesn't cost you anymore, but it does help out this channel and help me create new videos. All right, housekeeping out of the way, let's get into the video. So the first camera we're gonna talk about is the GH5. Now, if you've been on this channel at all, you know I love this camera, and for great reason. If you are an intro filmmaker just kind of wanting to shoot a bunch of different things, this is the best camera because it allows you the IBIS stability, so you don't really need a gimbal. It's not going to be perfect, but it can get you by. It has 422 10-bit, which means you can push the color a good amount before it breaks, comparatively to some of these other cameras in the price point, which are 8-bit. It has generally long battery life. It's a pretty nice form factor in the small mirrorless camera. No overheating, no record limit, full-size HDMI. I could go on and on about the GH5, but we all know why it's a phenomenal camera. It was a game changer in 2017. But we do need to talk about the other cameras, so let's go on to those. The next camera up is the Pocket 4K. I absolutely love these cameras, and actually, a Pocket 4K was the first video-centered camera that I ever bought. There are a lot of positives about this camera, such as 12-bit RAW. It has 13 stops of dynamic range. The built-in 5-inch screen display is awesome for interviews and corporate videos and product videos because you can just negate the need for a monitor, and it's actually really color accurate. You get 4K 60 in 12-bit RAW, but I think one of the better features for budget-oriented filmmakers is actually the ability to connect as many different types of mics as you want. You can do XLR mics, you can do wireless mics, you can do lav mics, you can do on-camera shotgun mics, you can do a whole host of things. Now, if you've seen my $2,500 Filmmaker kit, you know that I recommended an audio recorder. Well, if you get the Pocket 4K, then you negate the need for an audio recorder because you can just run an XLR mic straight into the camera. This means no syncing in post, and it does sound good. I've done it multiple times, and I think people would be pleasantly surprised. Now, this camera does come with a couple issues. Number one being power. This is a power-hungry camera, and it really does suck the life out of LP6 batteries. I think someone in my comment section on the last video said 30 to 60 minutes for the Pocket 4K, which just means that you need to rig it up in order to power it off of a V-mount battery. Now, again, you can see them up there. They're both rigged, so I like camera rigs. The other thing is if you're doing a lot of like tripod work, you can run it off of wall power because it comes with a wall power adapter. So that is another option, but power is something that you're gonna have to think about, and you're gonna have to think about storage. These file sizes are huge. I think an average interview for me is anywhere from 130 to 250 gigabytes. It means you're gonna have bigger SSDs, which ultimately cost more. and you're gonna have to have bigger hard drives for archive, which means again, it's gonna cost more. So these are just some things to think about when it comes to the Blackmagic camera. Now, I'm not saying that these should be a deterrent, but if you do buy one, just understand that these are problems. Again, they're phenomenal cameras. I love them, and I just love color grading them. And that 12-bit RAW, you can really push it. Then last but not least, the Panasonic S5. Now, this is a very weird camera to recommend because it has two things that I dislike when it comes to filmmaking, but the specs and the upgrade path are why I recommend this camera. Now, you get the L series lens lineup, which comes on the S5 II with phase detect autofocus, and any future S series camera that they come out with. I know for a fact that they're gonna probably come out with their top tier S series camera in the next year or so. So you get access to whatever cameras they come out with that have phase detect and have all of these filmmaking tools that we love. That's the reason I'm recommending this, is it has so many different filmmaking tools that just make it a quality video camera. It's got 422 10-bit and 420 10-bit 4K 60, and it's got Vlog L pre-installed with 14 stops of dynamic range. It's a very phenomenal camera. But the two drawbacks are the 30-minute record limit, which is really hard to get over when it comes to like working with interviews, because a lot of the interviews go longer than 30 minutes. So you're just gonna have to know when to start and stop record. Now, you can bypass the 30-minute record limit using the Atomos Ninja V, but that is something that you're gonna have to pay extra for, and on a budget, that's just not in that budget. So that is just something to note. The other thing that is annoying is the micro HDMI. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but they do break pretty easily. So it's just something that you're gonna want to think about. If you get one, get a cage with a cable clamp if you're ever gonna use the HDMI. So you may notice that it was just Lumix and Blackmagic cameras, and you may be wondering, where's Canon, Sony, Fuji, Nikon? It's hard to recommend the cameras in that budget category from Canon and Sony and Fuji because they just don't have the same specs as these other cameras. They put photo before they put video, whereas Lumix and Blackmagic, well, obviously Blackmagic since it's a cinema camera, but since Lumix puts video first and then photography. I mean, the GH5 and the S5 have so many great tools and little things and nuances about them that just make them the best for video. If you think about the A7 III, it's only 8-bit. It has a 30-minute record limit, which I know that the S5 does, but it doesn't come with the same tools as the S5 does. Plus, it only shoots 1080p 60, so you're not even getting 4K 60. It has overheating issues, and just overall, it's a photo camera first. Same with the EOS R. It has a 2x crop in 4K, and again, it only has a 30-minute record limit. This is why I can't recommend other brands, because Panasonic puts video features and videographers first rather than photography. Now, this is obviously a matter of opinion. There are other great cameras out there, but honestly, just grab a camera and start shooting. It doesn't do you any good to over-research instead of shoot. And all of this does rely on how much you can find each camera for and what your budget is. So you'll have to scour eBay for the best used deal on each of these cameras. So it might take some time. But ultimately, the camera is a tool, and if you don't know how to use it, no camera will be good. So pick a camera, start shooting, experiment, and hone your craft. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Please drop a like and a subscribe if you like this video, and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified on all of the content that I'm coming out with. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.